Okay, so the most important aspect of today's video then, I believe this is the match that is going to ignite everything. So let's go over and watch this video, this absolutely crucial speech that was given by, let me just give you his name. This is General Sir Patrick Sanders, Chief of the General Staff, British Army. He's a new person in post. So let's see what he had to say, and I've condensed this down for you.
How I intend to mobilise the British Army, our regulars, our reservists and our civilians to deter Russian aggression.
Okay, so the first key point here is he's talking about how he's going to mobilise the British Army.
This process, we'll give it a name, Operation Mobilise, will be the Army's primary focus over the coming years.
Now, if you want to look into Operation Mobilise, there is a fair amount of information online about this.
This year alone, we have supplied 9,500 anti-tank missiles. We've already provided UK-based training for 650 Armed Forces of Ukraine soldiers. And in the coming months, the British Army will deliver battle-winning skills to a further 10,000.
Okay, so you can hear pretty clear now the amount of missiles and weaponry that's being given to Ukraine and the training. He's been very, very clear in this message as to what has been done and what will be done in the future. I don't think there's any grey area here.
And because Russia wages war at the strategic and not the tactical level, its depth and resilience means it can suffer any number of campaigns, battles, and engagements lost, and yet regenerate and still ultimately prevail.
Now, the reason I put this in, because I thought it was somewhat of a strange comment as part of his speech. If I were him, I wouldn't have put that in the speech, because you want to motivate the soldiers and think that you can annihilate the enemy. So for him to say that Russia can just keep fighting and still prevail, I thought that was quite interesting. I'm not sure why that was put in the speech, actually.
So this is the challenge that I will address through mobilization. And to make it crystal clear, that means focusing on winning the war, working with these allies against this threat in this location. And we'll see the first orders issued in Madrid tomorrow.
And of course, at the time of recording this video, we haven't yet seen these orders issued. But I'm sure by the time this comes out in a few hours' time, when you're seeing this video, those orders will have been issued by now by the NATO general.
And it's this, our willingness to shed blood, to protect common values and each other's territory, that will see us prevail.
Again, I thought that was quite an interesting comment to say, this level, and you'll hear him talk more about this level of sheer violence, etc. But for him to talk about shedding blood, I thought that was quite an interesting statement to put in his speech here.
So how are we going to mobilize? Well, Article 5 remains the cornerstone of our national security. It makes it a critical national interest.
Okay, so we're back to Article 5 again now then. So you remember the video I made last week, and I was talking about something that I think most of the media networks have really missed, this crucial, again, match that could ignite this whole thing with Kaliningrad, with this Russian outpost, as it were, and how we have Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, all in this region, which I think will be the first casualties if we do see some sort of conflict. I know a lot of people think it would be Finland and into Sweden, but I mean, I think, personally, I think it would be Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, where there could be some sort of conflict.
It requires forces across defence that are modernised, relevant, and harness the potential of the fourth industrial revolution.
Now, again, what a strange comment to put in his speech. I personally think someone has told him to say this, because why would you put in there the WEF program, the fourth industrial revolution, straight from Mr. Schwab? Why is that in his speech? This is what made me raise an eyebrow.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The very idea of human being some sort of natural concept is really going to change. Up until now, the conversation we've been having is around freedom of speech. Once we can access people's thoughts and access people's emotions.
The focus, as all of you know, today is on what's now called the Internet of Bodies, involving medical implants and other kinds of devices that go inside your body and altogether with the Internet as a whole comprise the Internet of Bodies.
The Internet of Bodies, or IOB, is actually an ecosystem. It's a bunch of devices that are connected to the Internet that contain software and that either collect personal health data about you or can alter the body's function. We think of the Internet of Bodies as this collection of all these devices as well as all the data that the devices are gathering about you. And in healthcare, it's Internet of Bodies has been around for quite a while.
So the Internet of Bodies, imagine the power of AI. What is artificial intelligence? It's a way to automate computation and cognition. So we can now automate learning, perceiving, doing computation. It's a pervasive general purpose technology that will be used in all of our industries, that will come into our professional networks, our private networks, our schools, our industries and our offices. What I wanted to epitomize with the Internet of Bodies is this notion that we will be under assessment, we will be under measure of computation in every aspect of our lives in the future. From what you eat, who you date, what you buy on the internet, how much energy you use, but also what are your vital signs? How well are you doing in terms of health? What kind of specific genetic quirks do you have? What's your genome telling about your health, about your mental health, about how well you are doing, how well you are aging, what kind of disease you are susceptible to?
It has a bit of an Orwellian twinge to it.
Well,